Joining me on the line as he does every Friday on the show, he's from Cinemablend.com. He knows a hell of a lot about movies. His name is Mike Reyes. What's going on, Mike?
We talked Star Wars.
I know, and it completely took the wind out of your sails right before this. We were talking a little bit about Boba Fett, and just so the folks at home know what I'm talking about, with the series or the season wrapping up this week, a buddy of mine, he said one thing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then you were like, well, that guy.
No. I can't really speak too much to the Book of Boba Fett because I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
I've heard wildly varying viewpoints as to how good it actually is, but it still remains that, Star Wars is, I think it's always going to be a hot button issue, especially when so many people bring different viewpoints to this series, and sometimes those different points don't go over well with people.
I tell you what I want to see?
What?
I started replaying that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game again.
Oh.
And it's such a good original story.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And I think they've even started folding that into the series canon. I thought I heard that there was the robot was in Book of Boba Fett. And
that, you know what? Actually, that's what made me want to go play it again. I was like, oh, it's BD8 or BD1 or something like that. It's the Leonardo DiCaprio snap and pointing thing from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I do that all the time at it because it drives my wife nuts. But no, that's what made me think of it. And I'm like, I haven't played that in a while. I'll go back and replay it. And it's such a good story. It's really good. And I like the character. It's fun. It's got, the science side of Star Wars and the kind of the magic side of Star Wars. It's really good. If people haven't played it, go play it. It's worth it.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, if you are an Xbox Game Pass member, since EA is their service, EA Play is, I think that's what it's called. It's folded into that. You can download it and play it now. Not have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's a couple years old. I mean, it's not a new game. I think one of the guys in our building, I said something about that I was playing. He goes, yeah, I found it for like $10 at Walmart the other day. So.
Oh wow, I might have to look for that myself.
It's really good. I highly recommend it. It's not the best game on the planet, but I enjoy it. All right, so let's start with Death on the Nile.
Oh, let's start with Death on the Nile. Yes, let's just go for the candy because.
Hey, real quick, let me ask you this: Does this have something to do with that? What was the train movie?
Murder on the Orient Express.
Yes, is it same vein, same people, same whatever?
Same vein, and a couple of the same people because it's another Hercule Poirot mystery from the annals of Agatha Christie history. So you've got Kenneth Branagh directing and starring again as Hercule Poirot. And I believe it's Tom Bateman who plays his friend Book, who you also saw in Murder on the Orient Express. Other than that, it's a new case and a new selection of celebrity all-stars.
Well, that's what I was wondering because I knew there was some sort of connection there. I just didn't know exactly. I didn't know if it was like a sequel, if it was in the same universe, if.
Well, it's in the same universe, and the thing is, and this is one of the things I really think the movie does well. When you watch an Agatha Christie murder mystery like this, it's usually Hercule Poirot or Miss Marple, you know them by name, but they're usually just smartest person in the room. They solve everything, and that's pretty much it. The attention that is paid to Poirot's backstory in this movie is actually really cool, and we get to see him more as a character than just solving everything. In fact, they sort of pick him apart a little bit as to his approach to things. It's fantastic. I will also say, if you are one of those people that are afraid of one of the four kind of problematic cast members being on screen too much, don't worry about it because the cast is so big that you move from person to person rather easily. So
it's good. Is it really good, kind of good?
It's really good.
Okay.
I caught up with Murder on the Orient Express when it went to Blu-ray, and after I had done the set visit for Death on the Nile, because I actually, back in 2019, when travel was more relevant and you got to go do set visits, I got to see the boat. I got to see the Karnak. I got to have drinks with Agatha Christie's great-grandson, James Pritchard, and talk to him about stuff like how he loves Knives Out.
Oh, that's awesome.
So right in the dining room where you see the big like drawing room solution at the end of the film, that's where I got to, just chill out with the man who runs the Agatha Christie media empire right now and just have fun.
Perfect.
And the movie it was everything I had wanted from him and more. And I hope they keep making them because I don't know how well it's going to do this weekend, simply because, are we allowed to say Super Bowl in there?
As long as you're not promoting anything.
Okay, the Super Bowl weekend is usually murder for movies. Like, I think, I don't remember if that was that weekend, but Super Bowl weekend is usually bad for movies. And what's really interesting is this year's Super Bowl weekend falls on Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, like how do some couples navigate that? Tell us your thoughts, folks. That might also be a very good segue for the next film that we're going to talk about after some B-sox.
Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line to talk about movies. So Death on the Nile is good. What's the next one?
The next one is a film that you can catch right now in theaters or on Peacock Plus, I believe. I think you have to have a Plus subscription. It is the Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson romantic comedy Marry Me, where Jennifer Lopez plays a pop star who's about to get married to her boyfriend during a show. And then just as they're about to do it, she finds out that he is cheating on her. So shake things up, prove a lesson, make a romantic comedy plot. She decides to randomly marry Owen Wilson from the audience.
You know what? When you first started talking about it, I forgot that I'd seen the trailer for it. And I was like, man, this sounds dumb. And then I remember the trailer. And I'm like, oh, this actually looked kind of funny. Like kind of interesting in a weird way, I
have to agree on the count of I saw the trailers and was like, this looks like it could work. Like I really liked what I saw. And then I saw the movie, and it is actually really charming. I was just going to say, that kind of makes me happy for some reason. I don't know why. They're such an odd couple, not just on screen, but they have such different demeanors on, life, just, Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson, not their characters, that it's kind of interesting that it would mesh well, No, yeah. I mean, their energy does work so well together, and part of it is because both of them are fantastic performers. I mean, Owen Wilson can do sweet and grounded, and Jennifer Lopez is very good at being in command, and her character Kat Valdez sort of just really has command of takes command of her image and takes command of her life through this whole crisis. It's just so atypical because it has romantic comedy tropes, and it does plays the hit. But at the same time, it never feels cutesy or saccharinely sweet or, even just the whole thing about Owen Wilson is divorced and he has a young daughter. Like first of all, I'm glad it was just a divorce and not, oh, his wife died. Because I feel like that's so overused and we should sort of be navigating divorce more in a better light. But also, it's just really, look, Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lopez are both charm bombs. You put them together, it works. And then you've got John Bradley from Game of Thrones and Moonfall. He's back as Jennifer Lopez's assistant. And then Sarah Silverman is Owen Wilson's best friend. You have the side characters being awesome as well. And it's just really, really sweet. And the only note I will give on this movie is they really thought we wanted more Jimmy Fallon in this movie. They really thought we wanted Jimmy Fallon because the whole thing is like, I get it. It's a Universal movie. They're tied to NBC. We can throw in the Tonight Show as a plot point. No. Like, they show monologues. He gets a scene where he's Jimmy Fallon, and it's like, have we not learned from Taxi and Fever Pitch that Jimmy Fallon just doesn't work at the movies?
You know what? It's funny you bring that up. It's kind of side thought, but it's kind of in the same realm. Who's the TV host that does all the musicals?
James Corden?
Yeah. He was on a commercial the other day, and I told my wife, I go, I don't know what his job is. I don't know what he's like Jimmy Fallon, it's like you're not really an actor anymore. You're a TV show host, right? You're not the movie star guy. And what's his name? The other guy, I'm like, I don't know what his job is. I don't know if he's an actor, if he's a TV host, if he's a commercial guy, if he's just a waste of space or what.
I mean, as much as I've had criticisms with James Corden, I did actually get to talk to him once, and he seemed pretty nice in that interview.
Yeah.
Although I know other people have had stories, but yeah, James Corden is just kind of like a big question mark.
I've been seeing a lot more stories or just kind of stuff like about Jimmy Fallon coming out.
I thought I heard that too. Well, no, I haven't heard that. I actually haven't heard anything about Jimmy Fallon lately, except for the fact that he's in "Marry Me," and
yeah, I don't want to go too far off the subject with it, but yeah, it seems like I've seen more stuff come up that he's kind of a maybe not as nice and fun as what people think type thing.
I heard that too.
Like like I haven't heard stories to the level of like that were coming out about Ellen DeGeneres or anything like that. But
yeah, we haven't heard that Jimmy Fallon's a monster.
But
we haven't heard that.
But it's like
nor are we saying that. We're not saying Jimmy Fallon's a monster.
Well,
in a certain way.
Yeah, in a certain way. So, anyways,
more of an entertainment value. Oh man.
So
Universal's gonna hate me.
So "Marry Me" is not bad, eh?
No, it's quite good. I mean, and I'm surprised it's based off of a graphic novel.
Okay, all right. I don't know. Are you like holding the phone with your shoulder? You keep going.
No, I'm holding it in front of me.
There you go.
We could go back a couple seconds and redo.
It's fine. It's all right. It just was kind of funny out of nowhere. I'm like, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm walking through my apartment right now. Being important, doing radio stuff, okay?
Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line. So it sounds like a good Valentine's Day movie for you and your wife or your husband or boyfriend, girlfriend, or the person you choose to spend time with this weekend.
Even if you just want to watch a movie that deals with romance and it's cute and it doesn't get in the way of itself with the usual, like it's something that's just genuinely warm and fun. That's it right there. It's warm. It's fun. Jennifer Lopez speaks in Spanish, and it's fantastic. And
if you're alone this Valentine's Day, you shouldn't watch it.
Depends on if you want something uplifting.
Okay.
Although I do have something that could tie into the next subject in play.
Okay.
Because the one movie I would want to see Jimmy Fallon in is Jurassic World Dominion, only for the Dilophosaurus to eat him.
Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com on the line with me right now. We will go to the Jurassic Park trailer that came out yesterday. Don't get me wrong, I do like the Jurassic Park movies. I'm not in love with them. But did I miss something? Like, I didn't feel like at the end of the last movie that they let out that many dinosaurs.
They let out quite a few.
Like, they let out quite a few, but in this trailer, it looks like the world is just living with dinosaurs now.
Well, yeah, and there's two really big ways that could happen. One that we know about, which is people have basically started making their own dinosaurs because the technology's been out there since Jurassic World.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, probably since Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And, there was the big dino auction, but they've always been talking about how the story is dinosaur proliferation and how it's going to be moving in on the world.
Yeah.
But something that we just saw in the trailer, which I am still questioning how this happened, it looks like wild dinosaur breeding is taking place because Blue has a baby.
Yeah.
There's a baby velociraptor that's adorable, and I want nothing to harm it or its mother.
I imagine it's going to kill something viciously.
It will kill something, but I hope not. Look, I don't care if the raptor goes and chows down on another dinosaur, so long as it's not the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park, who we see crashing a drive-in movie.
But yeah, it looks interesting. I'll go watch it. I like how they are kind of working the old cast back into it. I kind of feel bad for the old cast because it's kind of the same old thing. Hey, we come in, we tell you it's a bad idea, and then we get chased by dinosaurs for, a half hour.
It looks so good. And everybody has already been talking about that reintroduction between Laura Dern's Ellie Sattler and Sam Neill's Alan Grant. Just seeing the Doctors together again is beautiful. And then them back with Jeff Goldblum, Dr. Ian Malcolm, who's and then there's that one shot of the whole new kids and the old kids, and I'm just like, this is my end game. This is, you know what? Everybody wants to keep talking about portals. I'm going to keep talking about what looks like all of the Jurassic cast on the island from the Lost World.
It is pretty awesome. I smiled at it. So, when's that supposed to come out? Is that this summer?
June 10th, and It looks like it's going to be in 3D. So I'm really excited for that.
You know what's, and this can kind of lead into the next part of the conversation. I thought we'd see that this weekend. It seems weird that they'd release it.
Oh no.
And then I figured they'd do it for the Super Bowl.
See, it is a Super Bowl ad, but in the past couple of years, they've been releasing some Super Bowl ads ahead of time.
Okay.
Or even pre-game ads. In the last couple of years.
Or as they say in the old country, the big game.
Superb Owl is my preferred nomenclature because I love owls.
There you go.
How can you not?
Oh, the vampire show.
Yes, what we do in the shadows. I am getting some superb owl.
Commercials aside, there usually seems to be one or two big movie trailers that come out during the game. Do we have any idea what it might be? Like, I'm guessing we'll see Jurassic Park or World or whatever it is at some point. What channel is the game on?
It is going to be on NBC stations, which is probably why two of the biggest ones that we know about right now are, we've seen the Jurassic World trailer, which they've also been doing Jurassic World Dominion spots for the Olympics, like throwing in dinosaurs in Olympic games. So that's it's easier for that sort of ad to air because it's all corporate synergy, because it is expensive to run Super Bowl ad. I don't want you to look it up because I have it in front of me, but I want you to guess how much a Super Bowl ad, 30 seconds costs.
30 seconds? I feel like it's $1 million plus. I've at some point it was around that area. It's got to be more though, right?
$6.5 million.
Yeah, because I remember them talking about it because when Michael Jackson did the halftime show the one year, he just stood there for like a minute and a half or something, and they were saying the amount of money that was wasted because Michael Jackson just stood there, and it was crazy. So, so Jurassic World Dominion. What else are we looking at this weekend?
So what I've seen so far is Jurassic World Dominion through theirs out. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has an ad that's going to run before the game that's already out online right now, where we get more Idris Elba's Knuckles and some really exciting looking stuff from the game making its way into the movies. And then as far as I mentioned before, this is an NBC Super Bowl, so Universal movies are going to be very important. And as such, we know that the first trailer for Jordan Peele's Nope is coming out.
Okay.
They put up a teaser, but they did not release the ad. And I'm kind of glad they did that because that is very Matrix of them. Because I still remember one of my favorite Super Bowl movie ad experiences was when they dropped those first trailers for The Matrix, and you have no clue what the is going on. It looks lovely. And you want to watch it, and then they just drop the website. Whatisthematrix.com.
Oh, that looks amazing. So
miss that. Those sort of surprises.
So we're actually going to find out a little bit about what Nope might be about, right?
Yes, because all we have at this moment is a very intriguing movie poster where it is a rain cloud with what looks like an auto dealership flag trailing off of it. Kind of like, when you step on a piece of toilet paper and it's on your shoe. It's kind of like that. And then there was, again, we only have like a really quick glimpse of who is in this movie and what's going on. But we see Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out. We see him in the trailer. We also see Steven Yeun from The Walking Dead in the trailer with I think he might be someone working at the car dealership because he's got like this cowboy getup. So I'm thinking he's kind of like a car salesman. But I forget who else we see in there. but we see like a couple people and just very like short glimpses after like a whole reel, basically showing us clips of Get Out and Us. So yeah, we're actually going to see what's going on with this cloud hovering over this town, and it's not like Winnie the Pooh all over again.
I'm trying to think. It seems like we always get a Transformers trailer in there, and I know they've got another movie coming out.
Oh, I don't know when that's coming out though. I don't know if that's this year.
I just feel like every time the game comes along, we get, because I remember seeing Optimus Prime with a sword riding a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I'm like, there's nothing more badass than that.
Remember when that looked cool before we saw the actual movie, and it
I know,
was
right?
short?
I know,
yeah,
right?
DC, outside of the Super Bowl, they just dropped like a whole bunch of footage and teases for some of their upcoming movies.
I was gonna say, we might get something Black Adam?
Maybe. Like Black Adam might happen, maybe a little bit of Flash.
How about Michael Keaton as Batman in the Flashpoint? What is that movie?
The Flash. I would love for that to happen. I don't know. I think that's a little too soon, especially because they could very easily, since they've got Robert Pattinson's Batman coming out in a couple weeks. I think that's that's got to be the trailer.
I know it's a completely different company, but I mean, Disney's got the money. I mean, we could possibly see something for, like, if I was going to throw out what I thought, if Disney was going to do it, what I think they'd do. I mean, Kenobi might be one.
Yeah, a lot of people are thinking that's going to drop.
If not, even not just during the game, just in general, they might do it to steal some of the NBC thunder. The other one,
I know exactly what they do for that. I know exactly what they throw in, like maybe a 30-second ad, and they'd say, watch the rest of the trailer online.
Yeah. The other one I was thinking about was Thor: Love and Thunder, because we haven't seen anything for that. We've seen Doctor Strange 2, but we haven't seen a ton of it. Maybe you see something else with Doctor Strange where it's some of the other cameos that might be coming up, just to keep people's excitement up.
Yeah. That might happen. It really is weird, because now that everybody has their different platforms, and now that the internet is just so prolific, if you don't need to spend the money, if you don't need to spend $6.5 million on a 30-second ad, you just drop it on the internet.
Yeah.
I can see why Paramount would put Sonic 2 in a pre-game slot, because everybody's going to be watching anyway, and they really want Sonic. They need Sonic to perform rather well, because that comes out in April.
Yeah,
and they pushed Mission Impossible by another year, and the only other movie that I really know of them having as a huge tempo after that's Maverick. So that's why I'm thinking Maverick might also come up too.
Oh, how about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? What'd you say?
I think that's too soon.
No. Before that, who are you whispering to?
No, I was kidding around. I was like, you're stepping on my line.
Oh, it sounded like you were like, I'm on the phone.
I think it might be a little too early for Spider-Verse, because they're probably not going to want to spend the money. They're probably going to want to attach that to Morbius so people go see it.
Yeah.
Maybe a Morbius trailer. I don't know.
The Lost City?
Probably. I think that might actually be lined up for a Super Bowl. Yeah, there is a pregame spot that's going to be up for the Lost City. That's also. So yeah, Paramount and Universal may be the big winners of the big game, unless Disney drops a Kenobi trailer and take things up.
That's the only thing I could see Disney really throwing out there, other than because when does Love and Thunder is later on this year, right?
Yeah, I want to say July. He says if he has a schedule in front of him.
Actually, July 8th. That's sooner than I thought. I thought it was like November. You know what? They may drop the money for that.
It's supposed to be last November.
Yeah, so
they're not going to. Don't spend money on Doctor Strange. They're not going to spend money on that, because that's the next pressing movie.
Okay. All right. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me to talk about movies and stuff. We pretty much covered everything today, right?
Yeah, I'd certainly like to think so, although it's going to be really interesting to see how Minions Rise of Gru and Thor Love and Thunder compete against each other a week apart. But I do have one last thing I got to mention because did you hear what's happening with the Marvel Netflix shows?
They are not going to be on Netflix anymore or something like that. I saw a headline, but I didn't read it.
So basically, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, I'm glad that's anyway.
What?
So
no,
what's happening
I saw it in passing. I didn't have time to read it. I'm sorry.
You. Okay. I'm about to say on the radio, right?
We're not on the radio. We're podcasting.
So what's happening is it looks like Netflix is basically going to lose Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Punisher, all the Defender series starting March 1st. And we do not know where they are going yet. And what's interesting about that is while you have characters like Kingpin appearing on Hawkeye, the violence that was on those other shows is not going to mesh with Disney Plus's PG-13 mandate. So that's easier to fix overseas because Disney has a combined platform called Disney Star Plus. So they throw in their R-rated and Fox content in there. But they have Hulu and Disney Plus in the U.S. So the obvious sort of solution would be to go and, have the Netflix stuff on Hulu, but let people cross over because they have the rights. But we don't know what's going to happen just yet. So if you want to pay your respects and get some, last minute Punisher watching in or whatever you like, go to Netflix before March 1st because, it's done after that.
Absolutely. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joins me every Friday on the show to talk about movies. Mike, you have yourself a good weekend.
You too. Happy Valentine's Day, man.